Coming up on this program, we show you how to get connected. Find out how to choose an internet service provider. Discover the newest form of communication, electronic mail.
Ways down and ready to ride. One by one, billion by billion, and holding up half the sky. Raise your hand if you're ready and willing. If you know it's time. Time for a girl on time. Time for a girl on time. Time for a
Hello, everybody. Welcome to my kitchen. These are always difficult for me because every time I forget how much of a hassle it is to do this and how shitty the lighting is. Oh, there's so many parts that are problematic. Regardless, I did just get out of the shower. My hair is wet, but it'll be fine. I'll tie it back somehow before we start cooking. And look at this great dress. It's so cute. I love it. Thank you, Cellulite Yoga Pants. But yeah, we are making today a butternut squash. Very simply, we're going to peel it. Couldn't think of it. This is my first coffee. I haven't drank much of it yet, and honestly, I'm sad about it. Hi, Paul. Long time no see, it feels like. What do you mean? No, I know the squash is not that, Mike. You're terrible. Anyways, yeah, so we're going to do that. We've got some Bronlick. I even worked this morning. I downloaded some court so that we've got some court to watch. But I'm on a time limit, so it's not going to be a super long show. There'll be a show tonight, though, so no fear. I hear you, Paul. No gold cellulite yoga pants. No, I don't feel like rewarding YouTube Daddy. I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about the goals. I love it. I appreciate everybody, but I don't know how I feel about the goal. I don't know how I feel about it. And honestly, I haven't accessed that stream because I only have one screen. You know what I mean? Well, you don't, but when I work in the kitchen, I don't have my giant monitor, like my 55-inch TV that I normally watch everything on. I'm just on my one little monitor. So it's a bit more difficult for me to do multiple things in the kitchen on the computer at the same time because I don't bring the TV in here. I bring everything else, but not the TV. Up to and including the wired internet. Anyways, I hope everybody is well today. Thank you for being here. Let's start watching this while I start peeling this. The oven's already preheated, and this is going to be really simple. We're going to make this into like fries. Okay, so my roommate's CPAP machine just turned on. I'm going to have to go turn that off because it's annoying. But okay, he's not here. But in the meantime, let's watch what I downloaded.
Okay.
Like the matter of Joe Calkins versus Jared Calkins.
For the record, this matter is before the court for a pretrial conference subsequent to mediation. Parties have engaged in mediation with Mr. Pratt from the front of the court. This hearing is being conducted via Zoom. President Attorney Kirsten Nemec representing the plaintiff Jill Calkins. Ms. Calkins appears to be present, as well as the defendant Jared Calkins. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Ms. Nemec, have the parties made any progress toward their own resolution this morning?
Unfortunately, no, Your Honor. I think that Mr. Calkins is having connectivity issues.
Let me take off his video. Sometimes that helps.
Okay.
If it be all right with you, Your Honor, I'm going to switch over to my phone to see if I can get a better connection here. Would you allow me a couple minutes?
Okay.
All right, just one moment here.
The judge doesn't sound happy about it. It was his CPAP. I keep trying to tell it to. No, that's not even a funny joke. Orlando Chiquita!
No, it's Robin.
Oh, sorry. That's my feet.
I know.
Robin, I'm in court right now. This is, we called the phone on the bench, so it'll be, I'll get back.
Why isn't it showing up? Streamlabs.
It's Robin,
She called you in here.
Because that's what he called her.
his phone.
Oh,
Donna, thank you so much. You're so sweet. I love the jumping pair. Hey, you guys love the jumping pair too. You're so sweet. I was just thinking of you. You guys, is it ironic that this says Johnson on it? Johnson. The judge doesn't sound happy. Apparently these have seeds in the middle, so we're gonna have to cut it down the middle, scoop out the seeds, then I'm gonna have to peel these because I don't think you want to eat the skin. Donna, you're so sweet. Streamlabs, see me after class.
Okay, Mr. Calkins, can you hear the court?
I'm logging into the new, I just logged into,
The other option, we can turn off the video. Sometimes that enhances the audio.
I'm going to close one on my phone. Okay, I can hear you much better now.
the other one then, because I can't have two at the same time.
I've closed out the one on my computer so we eliminate the feedback.
There we go.
Okay, that sounds better. All right, I'll repeat this matters before the court for Zoom pretrial conference subsequent to mediation. The parties are present as well as Attorney Kirsty Nemec representing the plaintiff, Joe Calkins. Ms. Nemec indicated that the parties were not able to reach their own resolution this morning. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, Ms. Nemec, well, the court's going to complete a pretrial statement. What do you see as the issues? And I'll confirm these with Mr. Calkins. Is custody and parenting time an issue?
It is, Your Honor.
Okay. Spousal support, is that an issue?
I would like to leave it open. I don't know if ultimately it will be an issue.
Okay. There's real estate to be divided, is that correct?
Correct.
Property, retirement benefits.
Yes.
Okay. Is there significant unsecured debt that needs to be addressed?
Yes, there is.
Okay, so a lot of issues on the table. With respect to the real property, is it just the marital home or is there other real estate?
There is other real estate. The parties also own two other commercial buildings.
Okay. So we need appraisals.
I think at this point, the one thing we were able to agree on is that the parties will try to reach out to realtors to get comparative market analysis for each of these, or for two of the properties. One property is probably not going to be an issue, but we would be looking at a CMA for the home in Carlton and a CMA for the office building in Wayne.
Okay. So you said there's 3 parcels.
Yes, the other one is right downtown.
Okay. So the marital home plus 2 commercial.
Man,
The marital-
why are we not getting a market analysis on all 3?
they cost fucking money, bud. But and also again, I just never understand the whole like unsecured debt plus multiple properties. Like I don't know. Whatever. Whatever. Anyways, this smells like melon. I shit you not. It smells like a melon. Okay? Sweet. Sweet. It smells sweet. I've never really smelled a butternut squash before. Like, you could fool me if I was blindfolded and this was put in front of me. My first guess would be a melon. Nothing, no, yeah, but the smell is no fall. There's no fall smell here. This is as fresh as a melon and on the beach. I don't know how to describe it. Almost like a papaya. Like very, very fresh smelling. Interesting. The one recipe, I've made a few recipes with butternut squash. Generally, the first time it was sent to me in like a HelloFresh basket that I bought, and I really enjoyed it. It was like butternut squash lasagna roll-ups. Very, very good. But these are supposed to make fries. So that's what we're going to get to with this. Also, these people fighting, they're always fighting about something. Remember that you loved each other once, people. Remember that. But yeah, apparently they're supposed to be healthy. I'm going to put it into more manageable bits so that I can, yeah, like sweet potato fries, so that I can manhandle it a bit.
Because your proposal was to quiet title on the third one and split whatever proceeds.
And that's acceptable?
At this juncture, yes, but if you feel that we would want to just do a CMA on all three.
No, if that's an acceptable resolution to that, we can go ahead and eliminate that as an issue.
Well, I'm just marking as potential issues, Mr. Calkins, but absolutely to avoid the cost associated with an appraisal, secure fair market analysis of all parcels, each of you independently, and then compare. And maybe you can find some middle ground before we incur that expense. So obviously further discovery is necessary, so the court will keep discovery open. The court will simply order that if an appraisal is necessary to secure that as soon as possible. So we need to move on those fair market analysis because those should be secured within, I would think, within 30 days. And then if the parties cannot reach agreement as to current fair market value of those parcels, then appraisals should be secured. This matter has been pending for 3 months. There's been no motions filed for temporary relief. Obviously, the parties right now are they still living together, Ms. Nemec, or are they separated?
They are not living together, and I will be filing a motion after this mediation.
Okay. Were the parties able to talk about even some temporary parenting time?
The parties had worked out prior to this mediation. They were trying to work out an agreement regarding parenting time. However, there have been some issues that have arisen during that trial period, which has caused them to disagree as to how custody and parenting time should be going forward, which is why we will be filing a motion.
And Your Honor, if I may speak on that just briefly, the parties, my wife and I have been exercising since late July or early August a parent time schedule as such: Sunday, Monday, Tuesday overnights with me, along with every other Friday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday overnights with her, along with every other Friday. This has gone as recently as 3 of the past 4 days with me. I just want this to continue until some other motion or order is filed. I don't want things to immediately stop absent some order of the court. So could I have that instruction, please?
All right. Again, obviously, there's no orders in place, and obviously, if the matter came before the court to address that, the court would look at what the parties exercised, and if it's worked out, unless there's been issues with the past schedule that's been exercised by the parties, the court would certainly look at that if it's been exercised since July, but that will be addressed at a later date. It's unfortunate the parties can at least put that agreement on the record today. The court would encourage them to continue what they've been doing, but the court cannot order that at this point in time. And Ms. Nimick, how long have the parties been separated? Can you give me a month, a year?
Jill, when did Jared leave the home?
July 19th.
Okay, so July of 2024. Okay. All right, so the court will leave discovery open. Have the parties exchanged the verified financial affidavits, Ms. Nimick?
Yes, they have.
Okay, and Mr. Cox has received Jill's. Okay. Is there any discussion about a future mediation, even with a private mediator such as Godfrey?
I don't think
that would-
Mr. Godfrey would be able to mediate in this instance due to his prior representation of Mr. Calkins. I think
At least make inquiry. And if Ms. Calkins agree with that, and interesting, and you know Attorney Paul Longton?
Oh,
I'm familiar with his name. I've not worked with him in the past.
Well, he's probably in his early 70s, mid 70s, a rare practitioner, and he wanted to mediate a case with Godfrey. And he said, Godfrey represented my wife in the divorce, and I was so impressed with him that he's comfortable with Godfrey calling like he can see, like he sees it. So you may want to ask if the parties are comfortable with that. That's a prospect. I think Godfrey has a great reputation of sort of helping the parties reach their own agreement. He's very successful, even though he maybe knows both parties. But I'll leave that to you.
What is he talking about? My God. I've decided I'm going to roast this one whole-ish. Cellulite yoga pants, what did you put on it that made it sweet? Brown sugar and something else. And then the other ones I'm going to cut up into the fries. Judge, what are you even talking about? Like, seriously, what is he talking about? I know he's talking about mediation, but he's talking about a 77-year-old lawyer who thinks it's okay to use a mediator that once worked for somebody, one of the parties, because he's 77. That makes it good. Like, I would be like, yeah, I would worry about his judgment declining, Judge, but he would just shit his pants. Roar! What are you talking about? Roar! I don't have maple syrup. I'm poor. Maple syrup is expensive.
If the
So there's
parties
no
are
continued
agreeable,
mediations.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. If the parties
Go
are
ahead.
agreeable, I'll reach out to Mr. Godfrey right after mediation. You guys
Okay.
don't have to answer right now. Just send me an email and let me know.
I'll put on the record, I'm agreeable to that.
I'm sorry,
And
you said
maybe-
you,
I'm
Yeah.
agreeable to that, yes.
and then Jill, you and I will discuss it after.
Okay, and I think Godfrey right now is scheduling right now into February. But again, you can maybe at least make that inquiry, Ms. Nimick. Mr. Godfrey may say he doesn't want to, but again, you can at least make that inquiry. But there's no future mediation schedule with Mr. Pratt, is that correct?
That is correct.
Right, what the court's going to suggest is, since we still have discovery outstanding, is that the court could take the proofs this morning, and they'll stop the court's clock, and the court will reserve all standing issues and set this for another pretrial conference whenever you suggest, whether it's in December. At least the court we can update things at that time, and let the parties exhaust the complete discovery and exhaust all efforts at ample resolution before the court schedules a evidentiary hearing. Is that agreeable, Mr.
Yes, Your
Hawkins, Ms. Nimick? All right.
It is, but December may be a bit short if Mr. Godfrey and some other mediators are set out till after the new year.
Right, but at least then you can tell me in December that we've got a mediation date, just so I know it's moving along.
Very good.
All right, Mr. Calkins, can you both please raise your right hand to be sworn, please? Do you both solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Yes.
Thank you. Right, Ms. Nimick, if you can begin with Ms. Calkins, please.
Jill, I know I didn't prep you for this. We're just going to take the jurisdictional proofs to show the court that it has jurisdiction to have this case, okay? So could you state your name for the record?
Jill Renee Calkins.
At the time that you filed your complaint for divorce, had you lived in the state of Michigan for at least 180 days?
Yes.
Had you also lived in the county of Monroe at that time for at least 10 days?
Yes.
There are 3 children born to this marriage, correct? Isaac, who is 11, Elizabeth, who is 9, and Lucas, who is 7?
Correct.
Okay. And you were married August 23rd, 2003 in Monroe County?
Yes.
Okay. Are you currently pregnant?
No.
And are you stating to the court that there's been a breakdown of the marriage relationship to the extent that the objects of matrimony have been destroyed?
Did she say 2003? But their oldest kid is 11? Hi, Flusha. Nice to see you. I think she did. Also, you guys, I woke up this morning with these scratches on my arm. Can you see those 2 scratches? I'm cooking emojis. Yeah, actually I should have made eggplant. And then there were some scratches on this side. Probably myself, but actually likely ghosts. I agree. Ghosts. Ghost marks. I was like, what the actual fuck? I'm desirable even to ghosts. Honestly, it's probably me in my sleep. But anyways, so if you were wanting this to taste good, you would add fat to these a little bit. Either bacon fat, which I have. So I'm going to use some of that. Because I want them to taste good. I want to eat them. I don't want them to be like disgusto. So I'm going to add some bacon fat. And oil. And spices. Then I'm going to bake them.
And there remains no reasonable likelihood that the marriage can be preserved.
That's correct.
I have nothing further, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Nemec. Mr. Calkins, can you please state your name and mailing address for the court?
My name is Jared Calkins, and currently I am using 90162.
907 Dix Road, D-I-X?
F-I-X.
Thank you. And I'm sorry, is that Carlton or Monroe?
You're the dick, Judge. Ugh! I just protected him, and then you fucked it. Also, it is health food, first of all, because it's fine. I've lost 20 pounds. I'm still good. Even eating bacon fat. Imagine when I really dial in my, food as well. It'll be amazing. Fuck you though, Judge. Seriously, I dropped what I was doing. I fucking did a live edit, like a guys in the truck type thing, and then what do? And bacon fat is actually, no, this is in terms of flavor and etc. This bacon fat I rendered down from really good bacon, so it's good. It's good.
That is Monroe, 48162.
Thank you. Mr. Calkins, did you hear the testimony this morning of your wife, Jill?
I have.
Was her testimony true and accurate to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Ms. Nemec, do you have any questions of Mr. Calkins?
I do not.
Very well, based upon the testimony that's been presented this morning, as well as complaint filed this matter, the court finds that jurisdiction has been established. Court further finds that there has been a breakdown of the marriage relationship to the extent that the objects of matrimony have been destroyed, and there appears at this point to be no reasonable chance of reconciliation. At this point in time, the court will simply reserve all outstanding issues. Schedule for a continued pretrial conference. The court will mail out notice to the parties. There'll be
Your Honor, if I may, I have a couple of requests that would deal with discovery.
Go ahead, Mr. Hawkins. Court's leaving it open.
Right. But as the court's well aware, I'm no longer a licensed attorney, but I do have multiple years of practice and knowledge in the field. Part of discovery that's going to be required are requests for productions, requests to admit, interrogatories, as well as possible depositions and possible subpoenas. The normal course, and I think we should still follow this for.
Whoa, I have questions now. No, I know, Winter Witch. I'm just joking. What's going on? Did he just say he's a licensed attorney? I gotta melt it more. Get you back. Wow. That seriously like drew my attention there. As you know, I used to be a licensed attorney. Aww, don't give me up, runaway.
Subpoenas is that a non-legal, non-lawyer would present that subpoena to the court for signature. But as far as the request for.
Oh, if I only knew I fucking paused it and it was gonna make him sound like he said penis. My comedic timing is fucking impeccable. Oh, why do I find that so funny? Hold on, we're going back 10 seconds. Yes, I know, court's in session all day.
I think we should still follow this for subpoenas, is that a non-legal, non-lawyer would present that subpoena to the court for signature. But as far as the request to produce, request to admit interrogatories and depositions, I asked the court to allow me to be able to sign those and send those along with the applicable proofs of service without bothering the court for such issues.
I don't see any reason why not. Obviously, you can certainly represent yourself, Mr. Calkins, and you can certainly submit interrogatories. Ms. Nemick, do you have any problem with responding to Mr. Calkins' request for discovery?
Absolutely not, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Unless it's a subpoena to a third party. If you want sometimes the clerk signs those subpoenas, but perhaps Ms. Nemick would cooperate in securing the presence of that witness.
It would not be for witnesses at this point, Your Honor. It would be for documentation, but I will, I'll sign any subpoenas directly to Ms. Nemick and Mrs. Calkins. As far as third parties, I'll bring them to the court or the clerk.
Okay, certainly just a request for production of documents. In fact, if that's not, if they don't respond to that, Mr. Calkins, you can always then secure a subpoena, but hopefully that will not be necessary. I think Ms. Nemick is known for working with parties, represented or unrepresented. Okay, so let's schedule another pretrial conference. Court suggesting some Friday in December. Just to the parties give the court an update.
Your Honor, I would be out from the 20th forward. So would the 13th be available?
She's going on a vacay. Oh yeah, happy Halloween.
Ms. Nemick, you had reached out to my clerk, Ms. Andrea, for a motion hearing date. What date?
She gave me two options, November 20th or November 26th. I was just kind of looking at that out of my other eye. November 26th would work. 11:15 or 10:30.
Which one? How about 10:30 on November 26th? And we do a pretrial at the same time. Makes sense?
Yes, that does.
That's
All
fine.
right, so Ms. Andrea will secure your motion hearing date, November 26th at 10:30. Mr. Cox, you make note of that. The court mailed a notice of a continued pretrial conference, November 26th at 10:30 via Zoom. Will that work with Ms. Calkins with your schedule?
Jill, does that work for you?
I am looking at it right now. I'm currently scheduled to work, but I can modify that.
Okay.
And it should take hopefully maybe the parties can reach their own resolution and at that time, and the pretrial can be real quick just to find out the status of the matter. All right, so This matter is continued to November 26th at 10:30 for a continued pretrial conference. Anything further this morning, Ms. Nemec or Mr. Calkins?
Nothing further,
Good.
thank you.
All right, and obviously, Mr. Calkins, you're well aware, and certainly Ms. Nemec is the best resolution is one which the two of you, Ms. Calkins, participate in, reach your own agreement, as opposed to the court make a decision, because when we have a trial, a lot of assets will simply be liquidated, a lot easier to divide cash.
Right.
And obviously, you know what's best for your respective schedules and that of your children, far better off than anyone in this world, including the court. So the court would encourage you to continue some constructive discussion to reach your own agreement. And in terms of custody and parenting time, we're simply all this court is concerned about is legal custody. There's no, unless I'm convinced of reason, there's no reason why the two of you should not be able to share joint legal custody. The court does not address physical custody, simply legal custody and parenting time.
I think
And of
we have
course,
agreement
school.
for legal custody, if I'm not mistaken. I thought that's what the agreement was in mediation. Am I incorrect, Ms. Nemec?
We didn't really have any agreements coming out of mediation other than to get a realtor and do CMAs. Tentatively, I don't think that we have an objection temporarily to joint legal custody. Parenting time and physical custody as it relates to parenting time is the issue.
Okay. All right, so I'm just making my this court's position known, Mr. and Mrs. Calkins. I don't think parents should get hung up on this title of physical custody. It's just a bit, who'll be the primary parent for school choice, namely, and obviously the oldest is in school right now, correct?
All three.
The airports, all private school districts. So obviously that needs to be addressed in any ultimate judgment divorce in terms of whose residence will determine the school of the children. So we're not coming back and arguing about that in future years. So it's primarily about parenting time. So hopefully the parties can continue to discuss between themselves, work out a good parenting time schedule. All right, with that, that will conclude this matter. We're going to zoom out. Have a good rest of the morning.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Oh, and it does conclude the matter. Okay, well, quickly, we're going to put these in, and then we'll play one more hearing before we get going. In case you missed it, Sherry, no worries about jumping in and asking questions. That's totally fine. We have here butternut squash that I have peeled and cored and sliced quite thinly. And they are, but here's the other thing. I was watching this, I don't know why I love watching people grocery shop. I fucking do. I like to grocery shop now too, but I don't know why I enjoy watching other people grocery shop, but I do. And I especially love watching big families grocery shop. And I realized something. So like, I watched this family grocery shop and I was watching them buy stuff and I realized I was like I've been aware that I overserve. It's sort of my love language, like making sure there's enough food for people. And so when I see they have a family of 13 and they bought 3 boxes of cereal for a month, my brain was like, what? They bought 2 small peanut butters. Honestly, in this house, there's 3 or 4 of us, and we go through a lot of peanut butter. And again, I know, like, part of it is just, like, I guess maybe you need less food or whatever, but I was just like, are they feeding these kids? Like, okay, fair enough, they're Costco size, so they're, like, 2 boxes. That's still that. Oh, No Egg Craig mom? She's so great. Cellulite Yoga Pants. I love Terry. Remember when she ran into the wall at the candy shop? I love watching that channel. I haven't watched them in so long. I was so proud when they did not take, like, they got offered, like, a reality show deal, and they didn't take it, and I'm glad for them. Smart. I watched them in the basement too, Cellulite Yoga Pants. I remember when they moved. Like, that was real time I was watching them. I don't, like, and here's the thing. I'm not begrudging anybody for what they buy at the grocery store. I just find it interesting, but I recognize in myself that I would have a hard time, and maybe it's a shift that you would make in your brain, but if money was no object, I have a feeling that I would buy a lot of groceries. A lot of groceries. Anyways, get these in the fucking oven and put on another thing of court paisley. God's sake.
The bathroom.
All that was to say I'm gonna make less of this now.
It comes out.
The what? Yeah. Apologize, Miranda. Okay. Thank you.
Is that a kid, John? Did you hear a kid? Fuck, my phone's just going off. Put him in the oven, Paisley. Also, I order my groceries online now because I get $20 off at Walmart every week when I order them. And I'm a sucker for $20. It's like, I can't not. What, Judge? I'll shut up.
Okay.
How is the matter of Douglas Rains versus Jessica Ben Haj Ali?
For the record, this matter is before the court for a pretrial conference. The same is being conducted via Zoom. It appears that both parties are present in the course of receipt of a proposed consent judgment divorce, which appears to have been approved by both parties. Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Douglas Rains is present. You are Jessica Ben. How do you pronounce your last name? Ben Haj Ali? Ma'am, you're muted. Can you unmute yourself?
Yes, I'm sorry. I didn't realize it was muted. You are correct. It's Ben Haj Ali.
All right, good morning.
Good morning.
Right, can both of you please raise your right hand to be sworn, please? Do you both solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. We'll start with you, Mr. Rains. Since you're the plaintiff, can you please state your name and current mailing address for the record, please?
My name is Douglas Rains. My mailing address is 130. Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Rains, is it true that you filed a complaint for divorce with this court on about August 26, 2024?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is it further true that on the date you filed the complaint, you've been a resident of the County of Monroe for at least 10 days, the state of Michigan at least 6 months?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is it further true that you married Jessica Haj Ali in November of 2023?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is it true there's been a breakdown of your marriage relationship to the extent that the objects of matrimony have been destroyed? There's no reasonable.
Wait, this is unusual. This is less than a year, this divorce is. And that was my dancing because I properly redacted his address. And Judge didn't fuck it up. Also, my coffee's kicking in. I'm almost done. It's time to make another. Oh, that was the other thing. They only bought 2 things of coffee for a month. And I had to think to myself, like, maybe, I mean, I don't know. I just don't know.
Chance of reconciliation.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Were there any children born or adopted during your marriage who are still minors?
No, Your Honor.
And you've signed your name approving this proposed consent judgment. Is that correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Jessica, can you please state your name and current mailing address?
Jessica bin Hajali, 26. Four 8141.
Thank you. And ma'am, did you hear the testimony of your husband Douglas this morning?
Yes.
Was his testimony true and accurate to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Are you currently pregnant?
No.
Did you also sign your name to this proposed judgment approving the conditions and terms contained therein?
Yes, sir.
All right. The court's going to walk through this with both of you. Spousal support is not awarded. That's forever barred. Each will pay any debts in their own name. There's no joint debts, correct?
Correct.
Correct, Your Honor.
Already divided your personal property, so each will keep the personal property occurring in your possession.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Your
No
Honor.
real estate, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Again, are there any joint debts?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so it's relatively clean. Ms. Jessica is requesting restoration of former name of Scheffler. So when you receive this judgment, Ms. Jessica, you need to take a copy to the Secretary of State and Social Security to facilitate that legal change of your last name, okay?
Thank you.
All right,
Don't
do
stop
either of you have
eating
any
it,
questions for the
Courtney.
court?
I do,
No.
Your Honor. I have two. How do I receive the divorce papers? And the following question is, I will need the key back to my residence. She was not willing to give that back this entire time. Thank you. Your Honor.
Okay, how do you copy the judgment? You come down to the courthouse today, or one will be mailed to you? You should get it first of next week.
Okay.
What was the second question?
I'm sorry. How do I receive? Was that the? Oh, it's the key. The key to my residence.
Okay.
Must have it back.
She has a key to your home?
Correct. Your Honor.
Okay. And you're asking when she can
Yes, Your
return
Honor.
that, is that correct?
Yes, I
It's
appreciate
not
it.
addressed in the judgment. Ms. Jessica, can you return the key you have to Mr. Rain's home?
Your Honor, I threw it away.
Okay. So Mr. Rains, if you're concerned about it, the court suggests change the lock.
Understood. Will do, Your Honor. Thank you.
And if she doesn't have it, if she threw it away, unfortunate, but it'd be nice to have an extra spare key, but if it's been thrown away, I don't know why it'd be thrown away, but in any event that, I trust that answers your inquiry. Is that correct?
Correct, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
If you have any
Appreciate it.
concerns, the court would suggest change the lock. And that's a rental home, is that correct? Because you don't own any real estate.
That's correct, Your Honor. Yes.
All right. Any other questions from either one of you?
No, sir.
All right. Well, the court appreciates your cooperation in appearing this morning and providing the court with a clean consent judgment of divorce. Obviously, someone helped you with this, which, but in any event, it covers everything. Based upon the testimony that's been presented this morning, as well as the complaint filed in this case, court finds that jurisdiction has been established. Court further finds that there has been a breakdown of the marriage relationship to the extent that the objects of matrimony have been destroyed, and there appears to be no reasonable likelihood that the marriage can be preserved. Accordingly, it is ordered by this court that the marriage between the parties be and is hereby dissolved, and judgment shall enter, granting a divorce from the bonds of matrimony. They're both now divorced. A copy will be mailed out to you by the clerk. And Ms. Jessica, make sure you take a copy to Secretary of State and Social Security to facilitate the legal change of your last name. And if you have no other questions, I will conclude this proceeding. You can both zoom out. Have a good rest of the day and good luck to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Welcome. Welcome.
Divorced! They're divorced! Just like me and myself. I feel like divorcing myself some days. But here comes my second coffee and I'll feel better soon. Okay, we have 9 minutes left on there. That's time for one more episode.
Okay.
Okay, he says in a soft voice. Do you think the judge is divorced, by the way? But he figured it out soon, at least, I guess. Courtney! Your S24 is appearing.
Good morning, Ms. Patrick.
Morning, Your Honor.
EC case, okay.
Calling the matter of Justin Shaw versus Courtney Bork.
For the record, this matter is before the court this morning for a pretrial conference. The same is being conducted via Zoom. Are you Justin Shaw?
Yes.
Right, good morning, ma'am. You are Courtney Bork?
Yes, sir.
All right, the court schedules for pretrial conference and moving the matter forward because the file is just sitting. And the two of you have conferred with Ms. Patrick, our Monroe County front of the court this morning. Ms. Patrick has provided the court with the following recommended order. The recommendation, after conferring with both of you, is that Mr. Shaw, you acknowledge the paternity of your 3-year-old child, that you're the biological father of that child, Sophia.
Yes.
And that you shall have a parenting, that the two of you should share joint legal as well as joint physical custody of that child. Father shall have parenting time every Friday at 5 p.m. until Sunday at 5 p.m. and holidays as agreed. And Ms. Patrick, if we can add, if the parties agree with this, I always like to put that if the parties cannot agree, the fallback should be the front of the court holiday schedule. So the holidays as agreed. If you cannot agree, front of the court holiday schedule. So they don't have to come back to court to argue that later on, because that's what this court's going to do. So they can go online, get a copy of the front of the court holiday schedule, give them some guidance, because if they cannot agree, that's what's going to control the front of the court holiday schedule. So Ms. Courtney, Mr. Justin, there's a front of the court holiday schedule. You alternate holidays, divide the long holidays. You go online, get a copy of that. That'll give you some guidance. But if you cannot agree upon holidays, whether it's Halloween or Christmas or Thanksgiving, the fallback to the front of the court holiday schedule. So I'm going to include that in this order. With respect to child support, commencing November 1st, 2024, Mr. Shaw shall pay child support through the Monroe County front of the court to and for the benefit of the minor child Sophia in the amount of $400 per month. Uninsured medical expenses should be divided equally, 50-50. That's a recommendation. Mr. Shaw, do you understand the recommendation?
I do.
Mr. Shaw, do you understand the recommendation this morning?
Yes, I do.
Do you have any objection to the court adopting this recommendation as an order?
No, I do not.
Ms. Bork, do you understand the recommendation?
Yes, sir.
Are you asking the court to adopt this recommendation as an order?
Yes.
All right, can you both please raise your right hand to be sworn, please? Do you both solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
I do.
Thank you. Start with you, Mr. Shaw.
No, Judge, we'll start with MB. Hi, MB. We've missed you. But we're glad to see you. I just made a fresh cup of coffee. We're trying to determine what ghost got me last night. Look at this. That's a fucking werewolf. I think Courtney's right. It's a werewolf attack. I can see the title now. YouTuber attacked by werewolf in sleep. Beauty sleep, maybe. Also, never mind. I'm not going to talk about that. Also, we have these in the oven, and they, I think, are getting close to done. They are butternut squash, gonna be butternut squash fries. They're soft. I would have air fried them, but I didn't want to move the fucking air fryer, just to be honest. An American werewolf just north of Seattle attacks Canadian YouTuber. Yeah. It's Halloween though. How exciting is that? Also, we've seen some groomed beards. Things are going well for us today. My hair isn't, but you know.
Can you please state your name and current mailing address for the record?
Justin Shaw and
Mr. Shaw, do you admit and acknowledge that you are in fact the biological father of the minor child Sophia Shaw?
yes, I do.
Is your name on the birth certificate?
It is.
Okay. The recommendation this morning of Ms. Patrick, the two of you can believe you can co-parent your minor child. Do you believe this recommendation in order to be in the best interest of your minor child, Sophia?
Yes, I do.
Do you have any questions for the court?
I do not.
All right. Ms. Bork, can you please state your name and mailing address?
Courtney Bork, 1.
Thank you. Ms. Bork, you heard the testimony this morning of Justin Shaw, is that correct?
Yes.
Do you believe this testimony is true and accurate?
Yes.
Do you specifically acknowledge and admit that Mr. Shaw is in fact the biological father of your daughter, Sophia?
Yes.
Do you believe his recommendation regarding joint custody and specific parenting time to dad to be in the best interest of Sophia?
Yes.
Do you have any questions for the court?
No, sir.
Very well. Thank you, Ms. Patrick, for your assistance this morning.
There's one more
Mr.
matter, Your
Shaw,
Honor, I'd like to bring to your attention. I prepared a uniform child support order since both parties were in pro per. You will find that in your FLC order queue for signature.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Shaw, you need to pay his child support directly until such time as you see coming out of your paycheck.
Okay.
All right, the court would applauds both of you. It's wonderful you can co-parent your daughter. She will thrive. She will do well in life because you're both on the same page. Now, keep in mind, there will be challenges in the future. That as she gets older, she's got more activities and schooling and so forth. The two of you need to work together. Communication is the key. There's enough challenges in life. Make it good for each other and Sophia. Because she gets older, she's gonna know where there's tension and animosity between their parents, and she doesn't need that. So. And you want to raise a child that's doing well in school and has wonderful, healthy relationships with other people, as opposed to, having meet with the teachers regarding issues at school or a probation officer some days. So he's got off to a great start. And if in fact things won't change as she gets older, so if you need to modify parenting time, be flexible, work together in terms of your respective work schedules. And of course, if you cannot reach agreement, then you have to petition the court, but you don't want the court making these kind of decisions. The two of you should be making them. Very well, the court finds the recommendation and agreement of the parties to be in the best interest of minor child Sophia. The court will currently adopt that agreement. Copy mailed out to both of you. Now concludes here, and you can both zoom out. Good luck to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. The revised recommendation is in your queue.
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Patrick. I'm just trying to avoid you coming back to court on parenting time, so I just always like to.
You always like to what, Judge? Watch me in the kitchen cooking? I agree. I think it's fun. I do want to cut my hair. I recognize I can't do it though, Sally Port, but my sister can. She's a hairdresser. Also, my hair grows so fast. I cut off like 1.5 feet during COVID. Oh, perfect timing. Thank you. It grows real fast because I don't do anything to it, including brush it most of the time. So let's see here what do we got. Oh, they need to be flipped over and finished. I'm not gonna bore you with that. We'll deal with it after. They're almost done though. I would say they need approximately, I don't know, 3-4 more minutes. They probably would have done very well in the air fryer. Yeah, thanks for hanging out today. It was fun. I'll be back later tonight with another show. I'm gonna go to the gym in between. I'm gonna clean all this shit up. And then, yes! I know! But yeah. November. Oh, that didn't go the way I wanted it to go. Oh, Streamlabs, hello. You showed up now, hey? November is going to be a fun month for us. Look forward to that. But I will see you later tonight. Please stay safe. Drive slow. The kids start early. Let's just all be careful, shall we? Donald's perfect timing. Ahoy, 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 goodbye. Remember, I love you, I'm proud of you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.
Ways down and ready to ride. One by one, billion by billion, and holding up half the sky. Raise your hand if you're ready and willing. If you know it's time. Time for a girl on time. Time for a girl on time. Time for a
Bye, bitches.